How's it hanging, Phil?
Not the prime time yet.
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror Guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. So, you may have noticed, if you're quick-witted, that it's just Ashley and I here. Unfortunately, due to some scheduling conflicts and things like that, unfortunately, Evan and Daniel are not going to be able to join us tonight. There's no like behind-the-scenes fighting or anything stupid.
It's
genuinely scheduled
stuff
conflict.
Happens, and we're still here, and we're gonna hang out with you guys.
We're gonna have a good time. Like I said, love the guys to death. No ill will. You will see them back on the channel again, but sometimes these things happen, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yes.
But let's get some positives. Tatum is a member again.
Awesome. Hey,
Thank
Tatum.
you, Tatum. We missed you. Glad to see you're here tonight. I'm very confused about this topic. Okay, so what we're doing here is...
Okay, and so I guess I'm kind of confused a little bit too.
How'd you do it?
So I just took like people from horror movies or like movies that scared me and that like were could possibly be like a superhero.
That's what I did.
Okay.
These people could logically take place in a comic book type universe.
Or I do have one that's like an anti-superhero.
Oh, I do too. I also got to say, guys, check out this amazing shirt. Hit up the Horror House in Chicago. Go to their website.
Yeah, I love how they have
shirt.
Black is my favorite color in the whole entire world. I love black, but sometimes you just need a little.
You got to color it up a little bit. Become a member. Yes, please become a member. It means so much. I'm glad you're excited, buddy.
Awesome.
Hey, what's up, Paul Draws?
Hey, Paul Draws.
Like I said, some of these are superheroes to me.
Yeah.
Maybe they weren't marketed as that, but they are superheroes to me. Now, what is up, Adrian?
Hey, Adrian.
What's up, Jeannie?
Jeannie, hello.
What is up, Anthony?
Hi, Anthony.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. That sucks. Never like to see plans get canceled.
Yeah, that does suck when that happens.
There's a good chance we're going to talk about that guy tonight, Justin. Oh, yeah, Bradsky. I love this shirt. Toxic Avenger is hero, but doesn't follow the no-kill rule. Again.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have that rule. I don't.
Yeah.
I have some on here that
you have some
killed, but I still think that they could be a superhero.
So disgusting, T. Parker.
You are grounded for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's like, shut up.
I like Scream 4.
Hell yeah. Congratulations, Anthony.
Nice.
What is up, Davey?
Hey, Davey.
Yes, it is the anniversary today. 14 years old.
That's insane. Yesterday was Cabin in the Woods 13-year anniversary.
I know.
I'm just
that was an in-person viewing for us.
Yeah, that was one that we just kind of like went in blind, knew nothing about. We had like a kid-free night. We only had one kid back then.
Yeah,
which is really crazy. Weird. And yeah, I think our parents took them and we're like, let's go to the movies. And we were like, well, I guess I thought it was gonna be like another like Cabin in the Woods.
I thought it was gonna be like a shitty horror comedy.
No, I just thought it was gonna be another like teens go to the woods and party and but it was so much more.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we went and seen it because it was a great
I
experience.
still love that movie to this day.
It's
I still
awesome.
think it's one of the better movies of the last 20 years. What's up, David?
Hey, David.
Thanks for coming out. Thank you, Jerry. 5 months.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I may not be your real dad, but I love you like I was, okay? About to watch Scream 4 and some Lemon Squares. All right. All right, so we are now going to get started. And as always, my love, I'm going to let you get started on this one.
All right.
I didn't do any. Did you do an honorable mention?
I didn't. I
Nope.
kind of had a hard time making this list, to be honest. So my number 10 is Brandon from Brightburn. When I said earlier that I have one that's like an anti-superhero, he's like the opposite of Superman. And, he was the extraterrestrial that was sent here to take over the world. And I think the saddest part about this is from the mother's point of view, is like she couldn't have kids herself and found this baby and loved him with everything, and then he takes her and drops her from the fucking sky,
From the
like
stratosphere.
literally from the he drops his own mother. Like, she took care of you. I don't care, Brandon, if you are an extraterrestrial, like, she took care of you. Like, that's sad, but yeah, he could have cared less.
I'm shocked that's at number 10. I'm going to say that.
I feel like I have some good ones in here.
Okay. Number 10 for me is Toxie from the Toxic Crusader. I mean, you got superhuman size and strength, and Toxie knows his way around a mop.
Yeah.
And we're going to be getting the new Toxic Avenger movie finally this year. So I had to include Toxie on this list. Like I said, the Toxic Avenger is something I loved. And then as a kid, I loved the Toxic Crusaders TV show. I love playing the Toxic Crusaders video games. Always was a big fan of Toxie and it's so funny because when I was a kid, I didn't understand what Lloyd and Troma were doing with the Toxic Avenger because I knew the Toxic Crusaders beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew the Toxic Crusaders before I had ever heard of the Toxic Avenger. I used to watch that cartoon.
Yeah.
Like I said, I used to play the video games. And I got older and, really started to digest horror and indie horror and see what Uncle Lloyd and them were doing and just how impressive it truly, truly is. And big fan of the Toxic Avenger. Very, very excited for the new reboot that we're getting. So that's I think the biggest one for me would be having to have Toxie on this list.
Nice. That's a good one.
So we're going to do a couple and then we'll catch up on the chat.
Real quick, I was going to ask you this earlier, but I seen that Cunningham is going to be in the new Silent Night, Deadly Night. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that real?
Yes. So
Okay.
Corey Cunningham is going to be in the new Silent Night, Deadly Night film. But
when I seen that picture, I'm like, that fits so well. Like, I feel like he's going to kill it.
On top of that, the roommate in Happy Death Day, the one that she killed, she's also been cast in that movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I that makes me kind of excited.
I'm very excited for this. I think that the new Silent Night Deadly Night is going to be dynamite. I'm very, very excited to watch that.
Yeah, I just seen it, and I never know if stuff is real or not, so I always have to like check it and make sure.
Yes, that is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Rowan Campbell has been signed on for Silent Night Deadly Night.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So my number 9 is Donnie Darko. Donnie,
Ooh.
he knew that he was sacrificing himself. He knew
That's
his
a
fate.
good one.
And he did to save others. He knew what was going on, and he had that little fucking creepy ass bunny like telling him what was going on.
Frank.
Frank.
Wow. I'm just in awe because that's such a good choice. Like, that could be its own comic series in its own.
Yeah. Just like a kid that kind of gets thrown into this kind of like Spider-Man.
And and one of the most confusing movies,
Yeah.
Everything Here Dies Alone. That's a good choice. And I love the fact for anybody that's new here, Ashley and I never know each other's list.
No.
We don't talk about these beforehand. I think it takes away the fun from it.
You probably maybe not think that that's a horror movie, but I feel like
I'm super happy you included that as a horror movie. I think it's absolutely a horror movie.
I have another one on this list that you might not think it's a horror movie, but it scared the shit out of me as a kid, so I had to choose it.
I love that. I love that choice. Again, I'm seriously genuinely pissed I don't have that on my list. Number 9 for me is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And now I'm talking about the movie, I never watched the Sarah Michelle Gellar TV show, so I have nothing against it.
I was like a hint. I wasn't like a true like Buffy fan, but if it was on, like I would watch it. But I didn't like sit down and make sure that I watched, the episode every week, like a true Buffy fan.
See, I'm talking about the '92 film. Like that's that's the Buffy that I know, and she's just so badass. Like Donald Sutherland is like her trainer. You threw a knife at my head.
Donald Sutherland's great, anyways.
And then you get Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. I love that movie, and I think that Christy Swanson was awesome.
Yeah,
I really think that that's a movie.
She's a badass.
Yeah, and you could make the case that she's a super. And I've heard even more so on the TV show. Again, I can't speak yay or nay on that because I've never watched a single episode.
Yeah,
never have. So I can't speak yay or nay. But I've heard that even the TV show is even more superhero-esque. So I really think that I had to have Buffy on this list just for that sheer fact. So
yeah, that's a good one.
Let's catch up on the chat real quick. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Got to mention Brightburn. Oh, Eric, I want that sequel so bad.
I know. I mean, this has been years of the making at this point.
Psycho Gorman, I think that would absolutely count.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about these. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah. I still want the like anti superhero horror universe that I thought was coming after Brightburn, and it just never.
When me and Kenny were watching those end credits, I was like, "Man, this is going to be so dope!" Like having this anti-Marvel universe.
And that was like what 8 years ago, 9 years ago now.
What's up, Eli? Toxic Avenger 2 also. Venom, Venom 3, Ghost Rider 2, and Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was my honorable mention had we had one. Thank you, buddy. Everybody's talking about them lemon squares now.
They sound amazing.
Darkman. We might talk about Dr. Westlake tonight too. The Shadow is killer. I'm baking it with Betty Crocker Supreme Lemon Bars. Oh my gosh, dude. You need to slow down.
We're coming over for some lemon bars, and
I don't know if you've seen this. This was just announced today. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is getting a remake by Ryan Gosling.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I'm there for that.
So now we're going to get sexy Killer Clowns
Ryan
from Outer
Gosling.
Space.
And, I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
yeah,
too.
He's produced, as far as I know, it said he was producing a reimagining. So.
Okay.
Doctor Strange 2, held back by, it absolutely was a horror film. It could have been even more.
Yeah.
It's good, Adrian. Really good. Exactly. Paul Rubens. It's so good. When they announced SNDN remake, I was mad, but Rowan
Campbell is a good choice. I think that was a great choice. Yeah. Seeing him in the costume, I'm like, that he's perfect.
Yeah, he's gonna nail it. Donald Sutherland's a vampire hunter with his son Kiefer played a lost boy. Yeah, that's amazing. I never watched Buffy's show either. Only Buffy ever knew was the film. When the show first started, I was like, that's not Buffy. Same here, Justin. Exact same frame of mind. I was like, that's not Buffy. Get out of here with that shit. The Crow 2024. T. Parker's coming out with hot takes off the rip.
The Crow 2024 isn't that bad.
T. Parker's out here like... what the Everybody's Venom's on here. Venom 2. I know. I love Venom and Carnage.
Yeah.
I've always been a huge fan of both of them. All right. You want to start us off at number 8?
All right. So now we're getting into another badass woman. And this is Catwoman from Batman Returns. And yes, it's not necessarily a horror movie.
I should have known.
This movie, the Penguin, when the penguins take him down into the water, it scared me when I was a kid. But I just think that she's such a badass. Like, she was thrown off that building and then she comes back for revenge on the bad guys. Like, she's definitely a superhero in my book. And it's very horror-esque.
It's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
So it had just like the original Batman.
And it's my
89.
favorite Batman. I love Tim Burton and most of the things he does. Like, this is somewhere where you and I don't agree because I'm right and he's not. So there's that.
The thing I can say about Tim Burton, especially with the Batman movies that he did, they are absolutely horror adjacent.
Yeah, but I don't think he can do anything that
isn't quite horror adjacent. Yeah. And yes, if you're not following Davey Deathray, you guys are doing yourself a disservice.
Yes.
Because he is the man. We love Davey.
He's
Love
awesome.
him to death.
Yes, we do.
Just had him on an In Defense Of episode talking about Land of the Dead.
We did.
You know, anytime we get to talk to Davey's a good fucking day. So,
Great guy.
yes, number 8 for me is, and you can take this from any version. I'm going from the film of the same name. I'm going with Van Helsing. I'm going from the 2004 film. Obviously, you know, you can make a whole comic book about him being just like Buffy, being a vampire hunter. He has the superhuman strength, that stamina. He can resist the Bane attack to become a werewolf. There's so many great things about Van Helsing. And I think that the big thing with Van Helsing, too, is he's going after the most prolific vampire of all time in Dracula.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I hear Van Helsing now, all I think is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. And if I see Van Helsing, I swear to the Lord, I will slay him.
I love that movie.
That movie's so funny. Dude, if you guys haven't watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall, even if you haven't watched it in a couple years, go revisit it.
Yeah.
Me and my son watched it again probably 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month ago. And I was laughing. So when Bill Hader's on the phone, he's like, stop! What are you doing? Like, we were dying laughing. But now that's all I think about is that piano, like whenever I hear Van Helsing. But Van Helsing himself is a badass.
Yeah.
You know, and Hugh Jackman played Van Helsing, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But yes, Gabriel Van Helsing. He's always just been, you know, he's the Spider-Man to Venom. It's the Joker to Batman. It's always Van Helsing to Dracula. And so I think that, you know, Van Helsing could absolutely be one of those amazing superheroes, and they could make a whole superhero arc about Van Helsing and his attempt to foil Dracula's plan.
Okay.
So that's my number 8.
Nice. I did. My number 8 was Catwoman.
Okay. You want to go ahead and do your number 7?
Yeah, my number 7 is Eric Draven.
Which one?
We're gonna go with Brandon Lee. Nothing against Skarsgård. I honestly, he was one of the
him and was it Raza? Is that her name?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys.
He was one of the
FKA
positive.
Twigs.
Yes.
FKA Twigs or something like that.
Yeah.
They were the best part of that movie.
And I think that he did a great job. But it's another one like you can't. He should never have been replaced. Like he should have been something, you know, different. We've already talked about this.
Yeah. If you watched our In Defensive episode, we stand very, very strong on the fact of you could have named him something different. Yeah. He didn't have to be Eric Draven. Right. You could have had this exact same story in The Crow, because The Crow can visit different people. It's not always Eric Draven that he visits.
Yeah.
So, but again, we're grasping at straws here. But
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Brandon Lee. But you know, he's just a badass. He's killing these bad people. He helps Sarah. So even though he's killing people, like he's still helping the innocent. So that is a superhero in my book.
Can't rain all the time.
I know. I love that part.
I have a shirt that says that.
I know. I bought it for you.
I would hope that you know that. So I told you guys we're going to be talking about my man, Dr. Westlake. Then we're going to go with Darkman here. You know, Sam Raimi, a little appearance by Bruce Campbell in this movie. But, you know, I love Darkman, you know, the way that he can, you know, create synthetic skin and masks and be able to, you know, his impressionism. He's very resourceful. I do believe at one point they did have there was one time in the 90s I was wrong, so it could happen again. But I believe they had
I can't cross my eyes during lives anymore.
Yeah. I believe they had a Darkman comic, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they did. They had the Darkman comics, the 1993 6-issue comic
it was
miniseries.
The year you were wrong.
Back in the 90s. So I've always been a fan of Darkman. Like I said, Sam Raimi. I think we all know what Sam Raimi means to all of us.
Oh yeah, Sam Raimi's the GOAT.
Right. So, you know, Darkman is another one of those movies that it's just like a movie we're going to talk about later. They didn't want to push it as a superhero movie. That's not what the marketing was about.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to talk about this later with another movie, because the studio told this next person that we're going to talk about later, if you market this as a superhero movie, this movie's going to fail. Nobody wants to see superheroes anymore. And that's pretty much essentially what happened with Darkman as well. And I think that absolutely should have been marketed as a superhero movie. So we'll catch up on the chat real quick. Venom's favorite character design, but movies didn't get them right without Spider-Man. Yeah. I agree. You know we love you, buddy. Catwoman is so scary movie through. Oh, there's a lot in that movie. There's the part where the penguins are taking him down.
Taking him down, that scared the shit out of me. Or when she like, you know, she comes back because she's thrown out of the window of the building, and she comes back like it all that it just scared me, and it was very dark.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Batman.
It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as 89, but it's good.
Mm-hmm. I don't think
Eli
so.
agrees. Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Toxic Avenger. Van Helsing is fun. That's how I feel. It's fun. It's again, the CGI is ass, but it's a fun movie. You can shut your brain off and just have a good time. And it's Hugh Jackman.
Mm-hmm.
Van Helsing definitely gave me Castlevania vibes. Oh,
yeah. I didn't know that I liked Castlevania
until we watched the show.
Yeah, until we watched the show, and I was like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. When
I still can't get her to play the games.
No, I'm not a gamer. Like I do baseball for you.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of shit that I do, but one thing I probably will never get into is gaming.
Unless it's Crash Bandicoot or Frogger.
Unless it's Crash Bandicoot or Frog, because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, and the Tigers are losing, so god damn it. The Delta 88 does make an appearance in Darkman, you know. Same as Evil Dead. Venom, The Last Dance. Still haven't seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does. I mean, again, this is total opinion. You can't get a wrong answer.
Yeah, I mean, if it's someone that you feel like
Constantine
has superhero vibes, throw them out there.
Brightburn, evil Superman trope is overrated, so that's why he's got Brightburn so low.
Okay, I had it at 10, so I get it.
Yeah, you want to give us your number 5?
Yeah, it's number 6, right?
No.
Or number 6.
No,
I haven't given my number 6.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, what the hell? I cheated and I did Darkman before you got the chance. Oh, I flipped it. Damn it. Okay, I have one that I missed.
Oh, you missed your number 7.
I did. So you do
Go
your
ahead
number
and do
6.
your
No,
7.
you do your 6, and I'll just flip them. So now Darkman was number 7. So now I'm flipping my number 7 to number 6.
Okay. So my number 6 is David Dunn from Unbreakable. Guy can't get sick. He literally survived, the only survivor of the train crash. His only weakness is water, kind of like Jason. But he takes out those evil doers, and he's a good guy.
Well, obviously,
I do hate how he drowned in a puddle. Like the way that they made him go out, I was like, are we serious?
Yeah.
He drowned in a fucking puddle. Like the guy, he lived through a train crash.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say this now. M. Night Shyamalan was the one that they were told, do not market Unbreakable as a superhero movie. This movie will fail. Nobody wants to see superheroes.
But it totally is.
If you listen to the commentary track on that movie, Shyamalan talks about it, and he's laughing about it. He's like, they're coming to me going, hey, nobody wants to see superheroes. Don't market this as a superhero movie. 5 years later, Marvel's taking over the world.
Yeah.
And he's like, my movie was a superhero movie. God damn it. But they didn't want him to market it as that.
Yeah.
Yes, Constantine does count, Ty.
I don't think so.
So we flipped it. This was my number 7. I'm going to flip it up to number 6, and it's Spawn. I mean, come on. Spawn has its own comic series, its own movie, its own video games. Spawn is a little bit of everything. And yes, there's so many horror elements in it. And, you got the shape-shifting, the telekinesis, the energy manipulation, the flight. Like Spawn can do just about anything there is. And, he's made a deal with the devil. You get all that. And the Violator, the clown.
Mm-hmm.
He always scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. He did. Like, he was seriously scary to me.
I can see why.
Yeah, like he scared me. And then John Leguizamo played him so good. And Todd McFarlane created Spawn, another one of my favorite comic book artists.
Mm-hmm.
He created Spawn, and it's a comic I followed a lot as a kid. Wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I would like to see an extremely dark horror movie retelling of Spawn. I think they could do a really good job in retelling this story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was number 7. We flipped it to number 6 just because I'm such a dumbass. That is Spawn. So do you want to give your number 5, babe?
Yeah, my number 5 is Josh Lambert, Patrick Wilson from Insidious. I mean, he literally astral projects to save his son.
I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
What? Did I have him on my list?
No, that I don't.
Oh,
your list is so much better than mine.
I know it's not.
Bullshit.
You have a good list. I like your list.
No, you got Donnie Darko. You got Josh Lambert. Like, those are brilliant outside the box choices.
I feel like he's a superhero.
He
saves
is.
His son. He gets
astral
taken over.
projects. He goes into the other world.
Yeah.
He fights the Black Bride. The Black Bride takes over his body. Like, That's a total superhero thing. Like
I thought so.
your list is kicking ass. Like yours is a lot of outside the box stuff. Mine's
Thank you.
cut, paint, cut, copy and paste on
Well,
mine.
I told you I had a hard time with it, so this is kind of.
It doesn't seem like it because you're out here knocking this shit out, babe. I'm
Thank you.
super proud of you. This is a great list. So you want to give your number 4?
You didn't give your number 5.
Oh yeah, I'm so obsessed with yours now. I want you to hurry up and go to your next one. My number 5 is the first time I ever heard of a daywalker, and that's Blade. Obviously, we've had this movie in limbo for years that they're trying to get made, and we're all very excited about, the potential retelling of a Blade film. I thought the other ones were great. Like as a kid seeing Triple H in a Blade movie, I was like, hell yeah. Wesley Snipes was phenomenal, but I grew up with these comic books.
Right.
And, a vampire that can be out during the day, he can tolerate sunlight. He's half vampire, half human. He's the day walker. To me, that was such a cool idea when I was younger.
That's definitely like an original type.
Right. And he's such a badass. Like, he's so strong.
I feel like that's where Twilight, like, they kind of got some of their ideas from, like.
Maybe, but they just dumbed him down a little bit. And that's not insulting. It's just Blade is a highly.
It's definitely more like action, stuff
right?
Like that, but
then like he also has that Wolverine type, the healing factor where he can heal, and there's a lot that goes into Blade, and I think that they tried to make it too commercialized when they made those movies. And again, I don't dislike those movies. I think those movies are just fine. But could you imagine like they're trying to do this new film with like a really dark horror-esque version of Blade the Daywalker taking on these vampires? Put me in, coach. I want to play. I want to see this movie. So please, guys, just make the movie. We all want to see it. So you want to give your number 4?
Yeah, my number 4 is Tangina from Poltergeist. Again, she is this medium. She helps others get rid of their fucking I don't know,
ghosts, poltergeists. They're poltergeists.
Yeah, but in the last one, she does offer herself to take all of them back, to take them to the light or whatever, take the souls.
I have the
especially
knowledge
Reverend King
and the power.
So she really does save that, pretty much that entire skyscraper. So Tangina, she's a fucking badass. I love her so much.
Definitely a heroine.
Yeah, and she's a heroine to me.
I mean, she has all the powers that come along with it. Like she has the knowledge and the power. She has the telekinesis. Like there's so much like that otherworldly. Like there's so much that Tangina does.
So funny and just so like right to the point. Like she's gonna tell you how it is, and you're gonna listen.
You could have went with Carol Ann on that one.
Carol Ann too. She can she like moves things, stuff like that. But I don't know. I love Tangina because she offered herself for that family.
Right. Number 4 for me, groovy baby. It's Ash from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
We've obviously had the Ash versus Jason or Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comics, which we have stationed right over there. And he's always been, the hero taking out the Deadites. He's a dumbass. But, I really wish we could have gotten a conclusion to Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, I literally talk about that all the time. How you didn't get closure. The way they ended it, that sucked.
Even though, like, at that moment, it was really about to go, like, full superhero, too. Like, apocalyptic, end of the world. Like, they were about to go.
White suit on. He was ready to fight some demons.
Yeah. So I was really, really looking forward to that story being told, but either way, like I said, he's been in comic books. I think you could absolutely build a universe on
this is
Ash.
Yeah,
you could build a whole universe on him for sure.
He has a chainsaw hand.
Right.
Yeah, definitely a superhero.
So we will catch up on the chat real quick. Venom is my favorite character design.
Yeah.
Malignant, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That is a good one.
The first Blade or Spawn. The Crow too. Yep, we'll talk. Ashley's already talked about the Crow. Werewolf by Night. Never seen that one. I would think so. I mean, it's
Underworld.
Yeah, there's lichens. I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
Chronicle. Miko Hughes is awesome. I love Miko Hughes. Todd McFarlane is saying a new Spawn. I know. I just want it. Like, just give it to me. Ghost Rider. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Batman, the Doom came to Gotham. Very interesting take on Batman characters. Thank God there's no Joker. Hey, what's up, Ryan?
Hey, Ryan.
Glass, another great movie.
Yeah.
Split was crazy as well. I own Darkman. Haven't seen. Oh, you got to check out Darkman. Yeah, Spawn is so good. I would love to rewatch. Have you ever seen Spawn?
Mm-mm.
We'll watch that together. Batman is definitely on there. Zelda Roosen's voice always creeped me out as a kid. Yeah. I never seen Scariest Places on Earth. Batman movies have. We talked about that earlier, Ryan.
Yeah.
Especially the Tim Burton ones. And the newest one, the Batman Begins, with the Scarecrow. That had a lot of horror elements to it as well. Yeah, I think a lot of them do.
The villains, like they're straight out of a horror book.
The Joker,
Yeah.
like he's terrifying.
Well, and
Scarecrow's my favorite.
Bane.
Yeah. Scarecrow is always my favorite, just because I think it's because he's the most horrific.
Penguin. Like
Yeah.
I love the Penguin.
Yeah.
He's fucking creepy as hell.
We'll have to check that out. We'll check it out for sure.
Yeah.
All right. You want to give your number 3?
Yeah. My number 3 is Carrie White. She has
Ooh,
telekinesis.
back to the
She has
villain, the
Yeah.
anti-hero.
See, you can call her that, but she literally was pushed to her breaking point. She
Still
was
killing
a
innocent
good
people.
she was a good soul.
Still killing innocent people.
I get that, but she felt bad about it. Okay, doesn't that count?
No, it doesn't. What if our kids went to that school?
I know, but I don't know. I feel bad for Carrie White. She gets bullied at school. She gets bullied at home by her mom. She's got the worst mother in the world. But she's got telekinesis abilities, telepathic abilities. She can read minds. Like she could definitely be a superhero or an anti-superhero, whatever you want to call her. She kills innocent people. I get it, but she also.
You treat her like she's your kid. Look, she made a mistake. You're like that. You're like the dude in the Megan trailer, the Megan 2 trailer. Like she may have killed 4 people, but she's a badass warrior princess. Okay, like that's you right now.
That's how I feel.
That's
like
how you are
Carrie
White right now.
I love Carrie White. Like, and I get it, girl. Like, I get it.
Yeah. All right. Number 3 for me, it's Eric Draven. 94's Crow. I loved that movie when it came out. It represents a lot of Detroit. Devil's Night.
I know Devil's Night. Like nobody else knows anything about that.
Whenever people talk, we're like Devil's Night's like, what the fuck's Devil's Night? I'm like, you didn't go smashing pumpkins and toilet papering on Halloween Eve?
Yeah, and ketchuping like your best friend's body and people's sidewalks to make it
like
look
a chalk outline.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're like in Detroit, like in the town of Detroit back in the 70s, Devil's Night was bad. Like they'd burn houses down and shit like that.
Ours was like innocent fun.
Yeah, we was like egging houses,
Yeah,
toilet paper and people, innocent fun that you do as a kid. But the Crow is so good. Like when he loads the shotgun with the jewelry, I love that scene. I mean, obviously the whole movie's mired in tragedy. And it's so heartbreaking to know everything that. Not just with Brandon Lee, but the guy that actually shot him. His name's going off my head right now. He was also one of the he was the blonde cop in Tales from the Hood.
Yeah. Like how?
Oh, it ruined his life. Up until his death, it completely ruined his life.
Yeah, I'm sure he thought about that every single day.
He said it. Up until his death, like it weighed so heavy on him, and it's all he thought about. He gave up acting. Like. It fucked him up.
I can imagine.
That's
a tragedy, and it had no fault of his own, really.
Yeah, it sucks. The whole movie, like I said, it's mired in tragedy, but it still holds up today. It's still a good movie. It's still a great love story. Very brutal, but the Crow himself, Eric Draven as the Crow, no matter who plays that character of the Crow, is such a menacing and badass character, and I'm just huge fan of that film, especially the 94 one. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Good so what about number 2?
My number 2 is Who You Gonna Call? Ghostbusters.
That's another great one.
They're a ghost catcher gang. How many times have they saved the city at this point? They're still saving the city at this point. Like they're still part of the Ghostbuster franchise. Like,
I'm just super bummed because like your list is so much better than mine.
No, it's not.
Usually I blow your list out of the water every single one we do, but
that is such a lie.
No, like I'm jealous of how good your list is. You really thought very much outside of the box, and I boxed myself in here, and I'm so like seriously jealous of your list. Like these are great. I mean, look at the Ghostbusters. So many horror elements in that first movie.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was young, people were like, "Oh, it's a horror comedy." I was like, "Horror comedy, my dick! This shit's scary as hell." Like
I
that
know.
librarian, and like when the couch comes to life in the
Oh,
love seat, it's got Dana.
It takes her.
Are
Yeah.
you the key master? Like, oh yeah, fuck that. No, that
I
movie
love
scared
the
the hell out of me as a
Ghostbusters.
kid. That's a really good one, babe.
Thank you.
My number two's been talked about, and it's actually the reason we did this list. It was really influenced this whole list coming into fruition because we were watching this movie and we were watching it with the commentary, and we heard M. Night Shyamalan say that he wanted to market this as a superhero movie, and they said no, 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 and it's Unbreakable. And it's David Dunn and Mr. Glass, the two of them together. Like the end of that movie, they called me Mr. Glass. Like that whole thing was so great.
Yeah.
And we went to
even after we watched Split. The
you
ending,
guys, I'm telling you, like at the end of that movie when Bruce Willis turned around, I was like, they called me Mr. Glass. I was like, no way.
Literally.
Oh my God.
And everyone else is like,
everyone in the theater was like, what the hell?
what?
I was like, you are uncultured.
Yeah.
You go watch Unbreakable tonight.
Well,
Like,
and literally after we watched it, one of my friends texted me about it, and I was like, if you haven't seen Unbreakable,
look at the goosebumps I have right now, just thinking of that moment in the theater.
Yeah, I suggest that you watch that like first.
Yeah. Because I was I've always been a very big, she knows,
Yeah.
I've always been a very big fan of Unbreakable. And I think because, like a lot of but I don't think a lot of you, we talk about it a lot. My mom and dad owned a video store when I was growing up called Downtown Video. And right next door was Tim's Cards and Comics. My cousin Tim had a card and comic shop right next door. So as a kid, like, yeah, I loved, renting movies. I loved renting video games and doing all that. But at the same time, like a lot of my time was spent over at Tim's, because it's like, yeah, you have VHSs and stuff like that, but I had grown up around it. So it wasn't like the super special. I mean, it was, but at the same time, like being over at the comic shop was way cooler to me.
Yeah.
Going over there and my dad would trade baseball cards with Tim. My grandpa would trade baseball cards with Tim. And I'd sit there and just thumb through comics the whole time. Like I'm just reading through comics, and I've still got a couple long boxes full of comics upstairs. I still love comic books. If we're ever in like a little mom and pop place, I'm always thumbing through their comic collection and seeing what they got. And so like superhero stuff has always been very important to me. It's always been a big part of me. Growing up, I was a huge DC fan, which is also really weird because Detective Comics, because DC Comics, they should be called DC.
Yeah.
Because DC is Detective Comics.
Right.
So when people say DC Comics, I'm like Detective Comics, whole nother thing. To me, growing up, DC Comics were the dark horror-esque comic books. Marvel was like the light, fun, like, and that was the difference between the two for me. So like growing up, I was much more into what DC brought to the table than Marvel. And a lot of these that I have on my list, I think would be more gravitated towards the DC world of that darker horror-esque comic books. There's not very many lightness on this list. And that duo of David Dunn and Mr. Glass together, even in Glass, which we weren't a huge fan. I wasn't a huge fan of Glass. I don't want to talk for you.
I hated the ending. Like
Right.
I liked it all the way up until the third act.
Right. But Split was fantastic.
It was.
Unbreakable is still to this day my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. Followed, if we count produced, Devil would be up there.
Devil's a good one.
But movies that M. Night Shyamalan himself has done, it's definitely 100% Unbreakable still to this day. So yeah, I love this movie, and I love those two characters and what they bring to each other. And when you find out that reveal, like that Samuel L. Jackson was in, he caused the train wreck.
Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid watching this, being like, what the fuck? Because we didn't go into every M. Night movie looking for
a twist.
Yeah. What the twist? We didn't look for that. So when I seen this, and I believe I had seen Sixth Sense. Unbreakable came out first, I want to say, but I hadn't seen it until after I had seen The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And The Sixth Sense was ruined for me anyway. Thanks to Joe and Jason. If you're watching this, you schmucks.
That sucks.
That
was really
yeah. We were cleaning up trash for the Lebanon County Fair to get armbands, and they told me about it. Like, Bruce Willis is a ghost the whole time. I'm like, well, thanks, Dick. I haven't seen it. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting so
You were,
off
yeah.
track. I just think that was his magnum opus to me. I don't think he's ever going to create something better. I loved Trap. I still prefer Unbreakable to Trap.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we give our number ones. Yes, that's where we ended off. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf by Night is a short Marvel movie. Oh yeah, we did see that one. I love Arkham Asylum. Even at the end of that, when he's like, I need you, Bruce, please. When the Joker's getting pulled away like this, he made me sad when I was watching. I was like, aw, poor Joker. Great choice, T. Parker. Yes. Scarecrow and Raja Ghul. I used to have chops with the mustache, just like Raja Ghul, and she hated it. Hated it.
Oh, you looked like Wolverine. Is what you looked like.
Is the only one that comes to mind. Batman Returns, definitely horror.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a fucked up movie, man. I wouldn't watch that movie right after my mom's passing, and it fucked me up. I had to walk out of the theater. I was like, I can't do this. You know, I told Ash, I was like, text me when this shit's done. I can't watch this shit right now. The shit with him and his mom in the hospital, I was like, nope, I'm out. Text me when this shit's done. We went with a whole bunch of friends. They're all like, at that moment, like the whole line of us, everybody was like, because we went to kind of have a good time. You know, I'm at the lowest point in my life, and I see this, and I was like, I just got up and walked out. Like, text me, please. If that's what Detroit's like. Detroit's beautiful, man. Like,
most of it. Yeah. I mean,
it has its
a
rough
big,
parts.
It's a big city.
Yeah.
All big city has its, it's
8 Miles still bad.
But
8 Miles still. I wouldn't go down 8 Mile
areas
at night if I could avoid it.
that are not good. But there's areas that
the city of Detroit, downtown Detroit, is fucking
downtown
beautiful.
You have so much there.
And it's beautiful.
It's all
like
right in just a couple of blocks from each other. You have the
you got the casinos, and then right after the casinos, you have Little Caesars Arena, which hosts the Pistons and the Red Wings,
or Disney on Ice.
And then right after that, you have Comerica Park, home of the Detroit Tigers.
And then right across from that, you have
who are losing now 3-0.
Fox Theater. You have
St. Andrews Hall and the Shelter. You know, the Shelter made famous by 8 Mile as well, which is funny because people are like, oh, the Shelter. The Shelter is literally the basement. Like the goal when you're playing at the Shelter is to make it upstairs to St. Andrews Hall. Like that's always the goal. Like when you hear people talk about the Shelter in Detroit, it's literally the basement of St. Andrews Hall. Like you can't go to the Shelter. I don't care if you're watching a rap battle, a punk show, a metal show, a country music artist. You cannot go to the Shelter when someone's playing at St. Andrews because you are not going to hear whoever's playing at the Shelter. You're not. It's not going to be an enjoyable time for you. But it's still beautiful to be there. It looks nothing like 8 Mile, by the way. No, nothing like that. Hell yeah. They're witch hunters.
I would say so.
Michael Myers should definitely be somewhere on this list because of how hard he became to kill.
You know it.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm just jealous. He didn't think of it.
Last week, and it's dripping in style. Which one, Ty? The remake with Skarsgård or the OG?
I like the remake.
I live in Detroit. Some parts are bad. I had to have hot dogs with sauteed onions after watching The Crow. Every city has its bad parts.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 2, Unbreakable for T. Parker's. Oh, we're both there. Number 2.
Told you.
Throw out my Joker. Show Joker off my list. Number 4, Ghostbusters. So you're killing it with this list. Actually, with the heavy hitters, kind of staggering against the ropes. It's not a lie.
I like your list too.
Oh, you're treating me like the cancer patient. You're doing great, babe. Don't worry. We'll get through this together. Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. Catwoman with Halle Berry is a horror superhero monster.
It's weird. I think about that movie like just randomly sometimes.
That's true. Tina should be on there.
Yeah.
Blade. Okay, Sixth Sense did come out first. Okay. I wasn't sure. I thought Unbreakable came out, but no. Someone's brought up Chronicle in the chat, but we have not talked about it.
No.
How close are you guys to Lake Michigan? I think we're closer to Erie, honestly.
Lake Michigan? It's about 3 hours away.
You got Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. So I think we're closest to Erie and Superior.
Yeah.
We're right in that area. But some good fishing out on Lake Michigan. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Dark Room?
Hey, Dark Room.
All right, let's get to our number ones. We're not going to have the same number one. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Oh, you already said my number one.
Oh, really? Okay. So my number one is Naru from Prey. She is a powerful woman. She didn't want to do the womanly duties of cooking and cleaning for her tribe. She wanted to fight, and she is the one that took out the predator. One of my absolute favorite quotes is, "You think that I'm not a hunter like you, and that I'm not a threat, that's what makes me dangerous, and you can't see that I'm killing you." I fucking love that quote.
Right.
He didn't see her as a threat, and she chopped his head off. So she is a force not to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
and she's a fucking badass. Like she
is
learns
a badass.
how to fight this predator. Like her brother was supposed to be, like the leader, and he was taken out by him. So she's absolutely a superhero to me.
Another amazing choice. That's a very good choice.
Thank you.
And I know how much that movie meant to you. I was shocked at how much you liked that movie.
Shocked
Yeah.
because I was
not a Predator
never
fan
a Predator
at
fan.
all.
Like I didn't really care about the big dudes and the muscle shirts and the fucking
The hand claps and the greased up
But-
muscles.
But Prey, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
And I'm glad you did, because I loved it too. I just wish we could have seen it in theater.
Yeah, well, I wish we could have seen it on just even our fucking theater instead
We
of
watched it on a
iPad.
fucking iPad.
Yeah.
But it was still worth it. Such a fun movie. My number one, like it's been talked about, and I'm a huge fan of this movie. I've talked about it 1,000 times. It's Brightburn. I would love to get this universe, like at the end of this movie, when you have all the different things that are happening
Mhm.
with all the different supervillains. And I thought that, you could say, because I do feel that way about Superman, and I'm going to go Angus here on you guys for a second. Superman's not brave, because you can't be brave if you're indestructible. It just can't happen. If
Right.
you're indestructible, you can't be brave. There's nothing that could hurt you. However, with Brandon, like it's the emotional toll, his dad trying to shoot him, and then him killing his dad, and taking, like you said, taking mom up and just dropping her.
Yeah.
And another story where the bad guy wins. And he has some killer kills in this movie.
Yeah, he literally takes her to the stratosphere.
He just drops her.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh yeah, it's a
She's
terrible
gonna be
death.
dead before she hits the ground.
Oh
but-
yeah. And like I said, like there's so many awesome deaths, like the uncle on the road.
Yeah.
The lady that's in the like the freezer when he goes in and gets her. There's so many great kills in this movie, and I really think this is a universe that could be built on, and they could do something really, really special with this universe. And man, like again, I was never big into Superman as a kid. I loved the Death of Superman arc. I thought that was great. But again, like he was the only DC.
Is put on some glass, like
Yeah. He was the only DC person I never got into, because there was never any real peril. The only one I could say, and I cried reading it to Chloe the other day, The Death of Jonathan Kent. If you get a chance to read that book, that graphic novel, holy shit, it hits you so hard the way that it unfolds. It has a cool twist to it. Unfortunately,
I feel like
Jonathan Kent's gonna die.
I feel like you read that to me
I
too,
did.
but I don't remember what happened.
It's just it's a multiverse of Supermen. I'm not gonna spoil it, guys, because I'm telling you, this is one you should absolutely read on your own.
Yeah.
And another one you guys should read on your own. It's called Identity Crisis. Identity Crisis is a whole graphic novel, and essentially it's all the DC people in an episode of CSI trying to figure out who killed Sue Darby, the Elastiman's wife. There's a part where he finds her dead, and he literally can't hold himself together. He's like trying to pull himself together, and he can't, like, and there's a fucking positive pregnancy test on the counter. And then the whole rest is them trying to figure out who killed Sue Darby. And it's a great twist. It's a lot of twists and turns, very adult theme. There's a sexual assault scene in the graphic novel that even reading it, I was like, no. But if you guys get a chance and you're taking anything away from this, please listen to how great Ashley's list was again, because that shit was dynamite.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Read the Death of Jonathan Kent, the novel. It'll hit you hard with the twist, especially. I cried. Like I said, reading it to Chloe the other day because she asked me what the saddest comic I've ever read was. I read her just the last panel, and I got all teary-eyed again because it made me think of my mom. And I was just like, oh. And then Identity Crisis. Check out Identity Crisis. If you're a horror fan, if you're a comic book fan, if you're a fan of what's it called? Like real life horror. Like that Snapped and I can think of what that's called. What do they call that? Like
real life horror.
Yeah,
like
no,
CSI,
but
like not CSI.
yeah, but like when you listen to that stuff, like true crime.
Oh.
If you're a fan of true crime, I couldn't think of the words true and crime together. Make sure you're checking those out. We're gonna catch up on the chat real quick before we say goodnight. I do love Signs. Absolutely love Signs.
Yeah, Signs is great.
Love it. Swing away, Meryl. Love it to death. T. Parker's number one is Split.
Nice.
We're gonna watch that eventually, guys. I promise.
Yeah.
Hellboy was hard to leave off the list. What's up, Ashton?
Hey, Ashton.
Demon Knight, another good one we just watched for the first time recently. No Love for Predator and the Macho-ness. Want to say hi, baby?
I got canceled.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Demon Knight's on my list too. Then he wipes out the plane in Brightburn.
Yeah.
Amazing choice for Prey. We have not. Predator, Killer of Killers. We will be checking that out. I'm very excited.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, J-Dev?
Hey,
J-Dev will be joining us next week for our watch along of Sometimes They Come Back. Now, guys, if you want to watch Sometimes They Come Back with us, it's streaming free on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching that, me and J-Dev together next week. Hope you guys can join us. If they made a sequel to Brightburn, then they would have to recast the kid or age the character a few years. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because, I mean, when they found him, he was a baby.
Yeah.
So he's obviously going to age. And I think he's only going to get more powerful with age. So I think that would actually work. With you on Superman and Indestructible being the biggest enemy. Yeah, exactly. It's lame. I can't stand it. We're going to try. With it being Easter weekend, I'm also going to be streaming WrestleMania Night 1 on Saturday night.
We might be able to go Friday.
We might go Friday. I want to because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll be streaming WrestleMania, and then obviously Sunday's Easter.
Yeah.
So I won't be streaming WrestleMania Night 2 because I'll be in coma recovery after eating all those carbs on Sunday for Easter.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, don't forget to join us next week. J-Dev and I, Ashley has to work all next week, unfortunately, so she won't be here. But J-Dev and I will be live together watching Sometimes They Come Back, and it is J-Dev's first time watching. Yeah.
Nice.
You can do it, okay? So if you guys are members, Roman Empire just brought this up. If you are members of the channel, we posted a video of our kid. We did an Easter egg hunt this last weekend because we had some family over here.
Winner. She
And
found
Kenley
the
was the
egg
winner.
with the $5 in it.
She did, and then
Yeah, but I gave it away.
Oh yeah, you gave it away.
but she
to your
gave it away
cousin,
to her cousin
'cause
Bryson.
That's how sweet she is.
But if you're a member of Sledgehammer Horror, you can watch that video now. Just a fun family thing, us going out doing an egg hunt and just having a good time. So,
Mhm.
and if you're not a member, become a member now. 99 cents a
And
month.
Daddy.
You help the channel, and you get amazing bonus content. You get every review, every top 10, every interview before anybody just by becoming a member. So make sure you guys are doing that as well. Yes, I'll let you say it. Hold on, not yet. So hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey Steve,
Nice to see you, buddy. Same.
nice to read you, buddy.
Same. It's going to be okay, but I have to watch it against it. Yes. Thank you for joining us, David. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time,
Keep talking more.
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Good job.